So this right here is an A, C, E, G, so that's an A. And that's a C, A, C, E, G. And that's a B. Okay, how did I know that? Okay, I can think of several different ways. I can think of G, B, D, F, A being the lines, and B is the very next one. That'd be one way. Okay, let's just go with that. That's a B. Remember that B is there. That's a B. Okay. Also, while I'm at it, and this is important, that if you're going down because you want to know things in more than one way, that B comes down and that line is an A, and the next line is a G. And while I'm at it, that symbol is a Gothic symbol for F. So you have F, okay, F, G being the space, A going the last line up, and B there. So you have bag, F, okay? The way I think of it is bag F, F-E-D-C, and that would put me in the second space. Just all kinds of things. Just notice patterns. Take every kind of advantage you can. Okay, B. That's a D, and I must stop right there. That D, look at the center line, that's a D. This is the biggest thing I got to offer. That D right there, okay? That D is the same letter, not the same frequency, but that D is the same D letter as the one right in the middle, and it's also 2 spaces above. So 2 spaces above and 2 spaces below, and that's a D. We're going to run into that a lot. Okay, now I can also hit this right there. If you hit that anywhere in that area, you can hit the symbol for the bass clef if you want to. That's a D. And okay, and if you've done ear training with me, and I'll be leaving some links in the that's a D. And we're going up. E. Okay, so E. Okay. F. That's nice. It's doing that today. F. D. See how important that D is? Okay. And that's a C. That's also the same. That's the exact way it is in the treble. 2 lines above. So that's a symmetry above middle C, which is in between the bass clef and the treble clef. So that's a C. We have 8 right. This is an F. Okay. That's an E. Okay. And they might go down to the next, that D next, but we'll see. D. See how important it is? That's a G. G, B, D, F, A. Okay. That's a C. That's very important, but notice the C is right below that D. It's called the gift. C, D, E is right there together. C, D, E. Okay, so C. I hope I did that. C. Okay. And now, this right here, I can hit this again, hear that again. I can also hear the E, D, C, okay? But that's an E, okay? And right above, the 2 spaces, okay? Which would be a D, so D, E, okay? And that is a B, B, G, B, D, F, A, B. I'm going a lot faster than I normally go. Okay, G, B, D, F, A, B. And that's A, C, E, G. Notice it's right above the G line, okay? So that's an A. That's the D. That's part of your gift. You have that D, the D in the middle, and a D just like it above middle C. Middle C is right below that, so you have C, D, E right together. Okay? So I can explain that again. The D is in the middle, in the bass clef. 2 spaces below the clef, the bass clef, is a D. Also, 2 spaces above the bass clef, but right is a D, but right below that is middle C. That's handy to know. Okay, so this is a D. Well, what comes after D? Look on your little piano there. That's an E. Don't get confused and think that's. You got to really put your mindset into the fact that we're doing bass clef, and also do not make the mistake. And I've tried that before, where you're always thinking, well, it's only a space off, or it's 2 spaces out off, or whatever it is you want to say. You always identify these notes as what they are. Okay, what are they? do not. You should know them instantly. Okay, these ones I've said here, I could probably, and this is not bragging, I could not do this for 40 years or plus, and but since I started picking up some of this stuff, I guess it was time to learn this stuff. I found it through apps and just accidentally picked it up. Started noticing that D, you know, so this is right above the D, which is 2 spaces down, 2 spaces up. So that's an E. And look on your keyboard. There's a D. They think there's something important about that D, don't they? And notice you went from a D to what? A C. And there's another C. And you can hear it. Use your ear too. And there's your cadence. There's a G. That's your 5. And it's E. They'll probably go EDC. Okay? There's another E. It went up an octave. F. Sometimes it goes FEDC. Okay? B, that's a leading tone. It's going to possibly go right to C, but a lot of times there's a little bit of hesitation. E, G, cadence, D, E, D, C. Yeah, it just played around and finally got there to C. G, cadence, E, going down like a chord. And that's an F. E, looks like it's going FEDC somehow. There it is, FEC. Okay, that's an A. Look at the right up there. It says right 38, wrong 0. Okay, G. There's another G up an octave. C. We went right to C. We did a cadence. We did a G octave and went to C. And then F. B cadence. B leading tone. Always a half step before or a semitone right before the root, which in this case would be C. Because that's where there's no sharps or flats in here. There it is. There's a C. You can hear that leading tone in any octave, and it'll change sometime. It could have gone up. It could have gone B, C, and I'm not going to try to sing. Okay, I'm concentrating on this right now. Okay, C. There's that B again, and there's an F. G. No, excuse me. That's an A. A. E. D. B leading tone. G cadence. E. F. A. And if I said A, it's A C E G. I'll have that in the training. You should be able to see it at all times. Okay, that's a D. That's your gift. D C. And I consider that in my training, which I will have in the description. You can, and that D wants to fall. I call it the lazy D. I named the D as lazy D. Okay, and now, okay, so that's C. And there's another C. You can hear it. Use your ears. And that's an F. And you can hear that wanting to go down within. You hit 4 notes. You're at C. Okay. Okay. F. B leading tone. F again. A. E. F. A. F. They apparently think this is real important. A. Wow. F. I like that. B. That's G. Cadence. B. Leading tone. D. Gift. G. Cadence. C. G to C. See that? There's a G again. There's a D. Gift. There's a B. Leading tone. G. Cadence. There you go, G to C, 5 to 1. Now that's an A. Okay. just make sure I'm right. Yeah. Okay. A. We have 79 right so far. D is gift. We're going up. D, E, C, and then D, gift. G, cadence. There you go. C, middle C. B is a leading tone. D is part of that gift. And there you go. We went da da da. Okay, that's middle C. Now we're coming down to B, which is leading tone. E, F, we're going up, and C. Okay, middle C. Now that's an A. A, here we go. A. If I want to hear this again, I just press on, say, the F there. Okay, and I want to go over that F again, and I want to point out that F in is a Gothic F. It's about 1,000 years old, if I'm not mistaken. Look at the little two dots that surrounds the F. So without doubt, if you look at this, I have taught you, and the computer is, and the phone is going like, what he taught me anything. I don't have ears, I don't have hands. You got the idea. Okay. That's an don't want to make a mistake. A, C, E, G. So that's an A. And G. No matter how well I know them, sometimes I got a lot of different things I'm thinking of that I want to point this out and this and that. So that's a G. That's a B. I can hear that leading tone. One morning, I want to tell you this. The phone again is saying, what in the world? But I want to say this, that, okay, that's a leading tone. I'm about to hit it. And it's a good idea to kind of stare at that. And notice that B is right below the middle C. And C is right below the D, which has the two spaces. So the next space up is a D. And there's middle C. And then there's that B. And, you have an A, which is that top line, C, B, D, F, A. So you have A, B, C, D. And you can stress it to say, okay, wait a minute. If I went up 2 lines, well, that might be E. We'll look into that. Okay? Okay, let's see. Okay, here we go. That's a B, and we'll do B. 95 right. Okay. D, that's our gift. And we went down. D, C. That's middle C. Even though we went up in not the tonality, we went up in the down in the tonality, even though we went up in frequency. Okay? Because I can hit, I've done this where I'm doing ear training called functional ear training, and I'll hit a 1 in 1 octave, and the B will be hit, say, in a high octave, almost go off the piano, and the C will be in a low octave, and I'll know it's a B and a C. I use two fingers, and I only use the white notes in this kind of training because all I know is I don't want to hit those ones on the top. Okay, you can only hit the white notes without looking because I'm blindfolded. Okay, so anyways, make a long story short, you can actually hear this, and you can hear that cadence, and you can hear that leading tone, and that was an amazing thing when I found that out. Okay, G, B, D, F, A. We'll put A, and wrong 0, C. Okay, you got C, D, E right together there. D being the gift. That's a C. There's your D. See, they kind of think that's important, don't they? And that's an A. It's G, B, D, F, A. So think G, A. Shortcut. Leave out all those ones in between. G, B, D, F, A. That's a good boys do fine always. G, B, D, F, A. Okay? And as I said before, forget about anything else than the notes. Okay? Because you've got to translate things. G, B, D, F, A. And we're going to put A there. Okay? Right, 102. Just keep on going. You can always change another video. That's fine. Okay, and this is C, middle C, and D. Okay, D, gift. F. Okay. The next space up would be G, and the next line up would be A. And if you see an F like that, you actually have a big gift there, kind of. Okay, let's look at that for a second. F, right? A would be the next line, and guess what the next one is? C, right? And guess what the next line would be? E. So you automatically had F-A-C-E right here. Everything in F-A-C-E. Okay? Wow. That's pretty cool. There you go. F. Okay. Anytime you find an F, there's an A-C-E right there somewhere going up. Okay? Okay, this is an F. There you go. There's a C. You can hear it. And that's an A. Okay. And there's a middle C. E, and it might go down for a minute. Oh, it goes back up to C, middle C. B, leading tone. B, an octave up. D, lazy D, wants to come down normally. E, went up, D, E, but it went up an octave. G, cadence. B, leading tone. G, cadence. E, D, I call it lazy D. B, it's about time for C. A, B, G, cadence. F, C. C again, up an octave. B, leading tone. D, that's the, yeah, that's D, that's a gift. That's an F. A, C. And here's C again, you hear that. C. I don't even need to look at this. By the way, you can hit that. If I haven't said it before, I know I did. That's a middle C. You can hit it up at the top there. I don't know what would happen if you hit the bottom. Oh, you'd hit the wrong note. Okay, we got 133. We're just okay. So the idea of this is now you listen to this like right before, or every day or something like that, and this is not a ploy to get people to listen to it over and over again. This is really because I struggle with this, and I'm passing it on so others won't have to struggle. I used to be one of the poorest note readers there was. I would do a Beethoven or a Bach piece, and then I would have to almost learn to read again because I could read the treble, but the bass, I was doing it by rote. In other words, I was doing it by rote and also my ear. Okay, and so that it's more to help, and this is sincere. If you listen to this every day, or just listen to this, say once a week or something like that, and then you go and then, or even today, after you get done listening to this, go get a piece of something that's been kind of bugging you. Okay, maybe go over this again, but you can just pick up and you look at something and you go like, okay, this has really been bugging me. I can't get this. Okay, and this is experience that I've had. Things that used to bug me for years, now I pretty much whip through them. Okay, now the finger positions and playing on the piano, that's all. But see, the first thing you want to do is you got to get this, then you can work on your timing, etc. And finger positions, and knowing where exact notes are on the piano. But if you know this, you're like you're not 9/10 there, but you're a long ways there, knowing your notes. Because why fight a battle on 10 different sides? The main thing is the notes. For reading music, if you're reading a piece of paper, anything you're reading, then you're reading it and you continue to read it. If you're a kindergartner, you just go A, and you do, and later on, second or third grade, you start learning about your syllables and things like that. Well, that's the idea. You learn this little by little, but we're at the point now where this is going to solve a lot of problems, okay? So I look at that and I know that's a C. It's middle C, and that's a D, gift, that's a G, and that's an F, and that's a D, and that's a, don't think that's a B, I just thought for a second it was a B, it's a D. That's your gift. That's a G. That's an A. That's an E, okay? That's a D, takes me a little longer. That's an A. That's a D. That's a B. That's a B. That's a C. That's a G. That's a B. That's a G. That's an F. That's a G. That's an E. That's a B. That's a B.